shocks over in South America as Argentina lose and Bolivia win to give themselves a big old chance to make in USA, Mexico, Canada 2026, who of course is in the driving seat, who of course got a lot of work to do. We'll take a look next. That's right, folks, back once again in our prediction video today is all about match number 10. That's right, in the South American World Cup Qualifiers for the World Cup in 2026, who of course will get a little bit closer to the door, who of course will be getting closer to elimination, as we see right here, right now, La Roca. Goodness gracious me. We'll get into all that in a minute. Big shout out to the VIPs, the other Patreons, you know who you are. And a big shout out to the members, you also know who you are, of course, for supporting the channel. They're all part of that ever-growing family. Now, there is one other way that you can become part of the family. And what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about this. That's right, folks. It is still time. We are running out of time to get your votes in. Please, please, please. This video will go out on the October the 12th. And we'll have around about 24 hours to get your votes in. So please, I'm begging you, please. I'm talking to you, Ecuador, Bolivia, Venezuela, my brothers from another mother, Argentina, Colombia, Chile, Uruguay. All of you guys, please get out there and vote. Costs you absolutely nothing. We are nominated for the two categories: Best Club Content Creator for the Football League and Best Podcast for the Football League. I need your votes. Costs you 20 seconds of your time. 100% free. Please, please, please go ahead and vote. Of course, let's recap the matches that did take place this past week. There's a few shocks in there. And here they are on the screen right about now. Bolivia, big 1-0 winners over Colombia. I went the other way. That's actually first defeat for Colombia in this qualification phase. But they're still pretty much in the driving seat at the moment. Meanwhile, Ecuador and Paraguay duked it out to a 0-0 draw. Big point that is as well for Paraguay, who are not out of it yet. Meanwhile, Venezuela also picked up a solid point against Argentina. 1-1 in the end. I went with the away side. I actually did very bad on the prediction. Didn't get any of them right. Because, and somebody said in the comments, easiest division to pick is the South American. Not this time around. Anyway, Venezuela won, Argentina won. Good point that is for Venezuela also in there. And then Chile lost to Brazil, of course. Didn't even get that one right. And then Peru did beat Uruguay 1-0. So good win for them. But it is absolutely bonkers. And it does look pretty dark days for La Roca. I don't think they're going to the World Cup. Peru is a bit of a stretch as well right now. But besides that, Paraguay are in it. All the way up to Brazil right now. There is, of course, some sort of, a very tight race there. But a win for Brazil this time around here and a little bit of luck their way. They could be up to second. And of course, all is forgiven, despite being pretty shitty thus far. And I said, I think it's top 5 go through, 6th goes through to the playoff or something like that. I'll have to clarify that next time around. But that is that. We've got some more games and they're coming at you thick and fast. No prediction league here, guys, but we're going to go around South America here with the latest round of matches. All right, then, folks, here we go. We're going to start at the top of the graphic right there, and that is a trip to Colombia. That's right, as they take on a really out of whack Chile, of course. Colombia under Néstor Lorenzo up against Ricardo Garcéa's Chile, of course, both Argentinian head coaches, but Colombia in the driving seat right now, sitting in second with 16 points to their name. Up against Chile, they're all the way down into 10th with 5 points, and it looks like they ain't going to the 2026 World Cup, which is a shame. Played 16 times since 2004, just 3 wins, though, for Colombia, 5 wins for Chile, 8 draws, of course. They did last play in Chile back in September 2023. It was a 0-0 draw. However, Colombia are unbeaten against them over the last 4, 1 win and 3 draws. Thus far, though, Colombia did lose to Bolivia, which was a bit of a shock last time around. Chile losing to Brazil most recently, and their home run has been pretty shitty thus far. In fact, I don't even know when they last won a game. I think their last one was against Paraguay way back in June 2024, but that was a friendly. The bookies on this one, I think we do have odds if we get to it. It is 50-21 on Colombia. Overwhelming favours 10-3 is the draw. 13-2 is just Chile. Like I said, they look like they're already out. I don't know what's going to take for them to get back in. They need to be winning the rest, and I don't think that's happening. And I don't think they're going to win this one. I think Colombia will win this one, 2-0 win, put themselves back in command, and maybe even take over at number 1 spot, which, don't forget, seedings could be monumental in the grand scheme of things when the World Cup draw is decided. Let's go over to Paraguay now as they take on Venezuela in what is a very important match because both Paraguay and Venezuela are on the outside looking in. 8th place Paraguay with 10 points to the name up against Venezuela, who are in 7th with 11 points to the name. Now they're taking place at the Estadio Defensor de Cacho with Paraguay under Gustavo Alfalfo up against Venezuela and Fernando Bastilla, both again Argentinian coaches taking over the reins here in the dugouts. Played 15 times since 2004, 8 wins for Paraguay, 4 for Venezuela, 3 draws between the two sides. They played in Venezuela back in September 2023. It was a 1-0 win for Venezuela. The last time they played in Paraguay, it was a 2-1 win for Paraguay back in September 2021. So far, though, Paraguay have been pretty airtight at the back. 3 clean sheets on the spin, drawing with Uruguay on the road, beating Brazil at home, and then picking up a draw against Ecuador, which rhymes, picking up a draw against Ecuador. So it's 3 clean sheets on the spin, pretty good for them in this recent qualification phase. On the flip side, Venezuela drawing, actually losing to Bolivia quite heavily, drawing with Uruguay and drawing with Argentina. Both of those games are at home. It's the away record where I think it's a little bit ropey on this one. Bookies, though, for this, they'll go 10-9 on your Paraguay, 16-5 is your Venezuela, 12-5 is the draw. Yeah, I think I'm leaning for a draw here, point apiece. And I think Paraguay are favoured by the bookies, overwhelmingly so. And it could be a 0-0, to be honest with you. I think it might be a 0-0 if I could redo it, which doesn't really boost anyone's chances to get through to the finals in 2026. Next up, we go to, where are we going here? We're going to go to Uruguay, that's right, as they take on Ecuador. Coming at you at the, where are we going? We're going over the Centrano Stadium over in Montevideo. Uruguay under Marcelo Bielsa. Coming up against Ecuador and Sebastian Pecaca again. So far, we've just seen Argentinian coaches in the dugouts. Of course, taking place on the 15th of October. Uruguay, though, under Bielsa, sitting there third, 15 points on the board. Without a win, though, in the last 4 matches. Up against Ecuador, we're on 50% form for them right now. Winning 2, losing 2, and drawing 2 over the last 6. However, just 1 win, though, in the last 5. Played 13 times, these two nations, since 2004. 6 wins for the former World Cup winners. That's Uruguay. 4 wins for Ecuador, and there's been 3 draws between the two sides. Most recently, they did play in Ecuador back in September. It was a 2-1 win. September 2023, might I add. A 2-1 win for Ecuador. The last time I played at Uruguay was a 1-0 win for Uruguay. It does seem to favour the hosts, of course, who are Uruguay, but they come into this on the back of 3 matches without scoring a goal. They did draw with Paraguay, they did draw with Venezuela, and then they lost to Peru in a really, really bad turn of events for Uruguay. On the flip side, Ecuador losing to Brazil, picking up a win against Peru, and then drawing to Ecuador to make it back-to-back clean sheets for them. Bookies, though, will go with Uruguay. 13-8 on is your host, 19-4 is your visitors, 13-5 is the draw. And I, too, will go with Uruguay to get back to winning ways. Next up, we go to Argentina, of course, as they take on a rather resurgent Bolivia. That's right, the Estadio Monumental Antonio Vapucho Lebiti. That's right, Scaloni's boys. That's Argentina coming into this on 75% form for them right now. Back-to-back games without a win. Up against Bolivia, who won 3 on the spin. That's right, played 16 times these two nations since 2003. 11 wins for Argentina, just 2 for Bolivia. There's been 3 draws between the two sides. They did play in Bolivia back in September 2023. It was a 3-0 win for Argentina. Bolivia's last victory, off the charts. In fact, it was back in March 2017 in Bolivia, though. So far, though, in the recent times here, Argentina coming into this on the back of a 3-0 win over Chile, 2-1 loss to Colombia, and a 1-1 draw against Venezuela. Both of those matches were on the road. Bolivia, though, on the flip side, picking up wins against Venezuela, Chile, and then Colombia. Again, 2 of those 3 victories were at home, but they did come into this on the back of an away win against Chile. Bookies, though, will go with the World Cup winners. That is Argentina, 16-1 on, 14-1 is the draw, 28-1 is your Bolivia. Don't see anything else. Despite the recent turn of events for Bolivia, they'll lose this. 4-0 winners for Argentina. And then finally, folks, we go over to Brazil, of course, as they take on a Peru side in a bit of trouble. Taking place at the Manny Garrincha, Estorval's Brazil up against Peru and Jorge Fossati. Played 18 times since 1970. 14 wins for Brazil, 2 for Peru. 2 draws as well. The Brazilians are 4th with 13 points to the name. 2 wins at the last 3 matches. Peru, though, just on the back of a win. That's 1 win in 6. They sit 9th with 6 points to the name. Now, they played last time in Peru back in September 2023. It was a 1-0 win for Brazil, who've won 5, at least 5, maybe 6 on the spin here, and 5 on the spin. 4 clean sheets on the spin, though. That includes the result in Peru, and of course, the last match they played in Brazil back in September 2021, I believe. Coming at you, though, Brazil on the back of a 1-0 win over Ecuador. Then they followed that up with a loss to Paraguay and a win over Chile. On the flip side, Peru drawing with Colombia, losing to Ecuador, and then beating Uruguay to make an average sort of points haul over the last 3 matches. This match, though, in Brazil, only going to be one winner, but the bookies also going with that. 9-2 on is your Brazil, 5-1 the draw, 12-1 is your away win. Going to go with a 3-1 win here for Brazil to take it to the house. That is right. Probably not what we're going to expect on this one. And that, my friends, should complete the pack. That's right. Don't forget to check back and don't forget to vote, guys. We're looking for your votes from South America, Peru, Bolivia, Ecuador, Venezuela, Chile, Colombia, Paraguay, Uruguay, Argentina, and Brazil. Please go ahead and vote. Costs you absolutely nothing. I need the South American vote. No one else does it. So just like us here. So please go out there. Best club content creator, best podcast, both in the Football League. And please, please, please use the link, cut.ly/vote BRFC. Link is in the description. And of course, don't forget to come back and subscribe. Smash the like. Catch you later. Till then, guys and girls, we are done.